Hi, my name is Kais Ayari. I'm a Windows PowerShell expert, system engineer and programmer. And I will show you in this video a special version of PowerShell. PowerShell is an automation technology. PowerShell has a scripting language. PowerShell has a shell, web service, and so many features. The goal, the ultimate goal of this video is to demonstrate that it's possible to run PowerShell on Linux. And this demo will focus only on a CentOS, a Red Hat based version, but I made another version compatible with Debian and Ubuntu and etc. Okay. It's a very hard project because everything is built from scratch. The actual version of PowerShell don't work on Linux because PowerShell is not intended to work on a Linux platform, but Windows platform. So it's a personal tool. The code name is PSX, and I created this version with Mono. Mono is an open source implementation of the .NET framework. Okay, let's type Mono engine. This is the name of the exe with a lot of DLL. Okay, let's type mono engine.exe to run the program, and here we have another prompt. This is a PowerShell prompt, and this is a bash shell prompt. Okay, this is a concept shell, a personal tool, and the goal is to administer Linux platform with PowerShell. Okay, if I open a new tab, okay, if I type in the PowerShell world, if you want to list all the commands, there is a very well-known command, get command. Get command not found. This is an error. Okay, because we are in, let's say, the bash shell world. Okay, but here now we are in the PowerShell world. If I type get command, I have a list of commands. Okay, all these commands are named commandlet. Commandlet is a special command. In PowerShell, a function is a command, a commandlet is a command, etc., etc. Okay, we can do a lot of things with this shell, a lot of things, and I will show you some of them because it can take a long time to make a demo of all of them, but some of them. Okay, let's clear the host. Firstly, how many commands we have here? How many commands? Let's clear the host. Okay, how many commands we have? You can type get command and pipe all the command to another command named measure object, and we have 59 commands. I created 59 commands to administer a Linux platform via PowerShell. Okay, 59 commands. It's not a lot, but it is a good thing to begin. Okay, it's a shell. Like I said, it's a shell. If I type 2 plus 2, I have 4. If I type, okay, if I type 20 plus 10, okay. If I type, for example, okay, we can use the thing. If I type and pipe to for each object, sorry, for each object, and okay, it's a shell. It's a shell to make some basic arithmetic operation, etc. Okay, so I will show you some interesting command. If I want to get the date, for example, in a short format, okay. If I want to get the date in a long format, okay, Friday, okay. If I want to get the date in a UTC format, okay, okay, very good. Okay, now I want to distinguish two basic commands, but very important commands: write output and write host. Write output is a command to write object to the pipeline. Okay, if I write output PowerShell, it gives me a PowerShell, but it's a PowerShell object, it's a string object. Okay, if I type write host, it's a direct communication with the hosts and not the pipeline. Okay, if I type write host PowerShell in a red and foreground color and gray background color, I have PowerShell in red foreground color and gray background color. Okay, I distinguish the two because write output is used a lot to communicate with other command. Okay, and write host is more hosts in a host perspective. Okay, now as for example a Linux administrator, I can and it's mandatory for me to in the Linux platform to manage services. Okay, a very well-known command is get service in the Windows world. Get service lists all the service object. Let's type get service, and here I have get service command with a list of services, daemon process, and each object have 4 property. It's a choice, but it can be another property, other property. Okay, this command lists all services in daemon. Okay, if I want, and this is the okay, let's clear the screen. Okay, if I want, for example, to get only the init daemon, not all the services, but only the init daemon, I can't write the init object to the get service command, write the init object to get service, and it gives me only one service and not all the services. Okay, init, it's the parent process. Okay, let's type the get service again. If I want to, for example, list all of the services but with two properties, not 4 but 2, I need to select property. Okay, there is a command named select object to select property. Okay, let's clear the screen again. Let's get all of the services and pipe to select object with property and name and ID. Okay, 2 property and not 4. Okay, and it give me 2 property. All these service objects, but with 2 property and name and ID. Okay, this process in the PowerShell world is named pipeline parameter binding. It's a very powerful way to use the shell, and I've implemented my own algorithm to do that because Linux is not Windows. Okay, the pipeline parameter binding has some functionality. Does not work on the Linux world and work on the Windows world. It's a very special behavior, and I've implemented my own algorithm. Okay, let's continue our demo. Okay, if I want to check the status of a service, for example, the Samba service. Okay, status service SMB. SMB stopped and MBD stopped. Okay, if I want to start the service, SMB. Okay, and it started the service. The start service command started the service. Okay, so now if I want to check to see if the service was started, status service SMB and PID is running. PID is running. Okay. Okay. If I want to restart the service for some reason, restart service SMB. Okay, shutting down and starting. Okay, very good. And if I want to stop the service, it's possible. Service. Okay. No, stop. Stop service SMB. Okay. Okay. So let's clear the screen with the clear host command. Okay. If I want, for example, to check the OS version, it's possible with the get OS version command. I have a CentOS release 5.9. Okay, it's a Red Hat based release of Linux. Okay, if I want to check the kernel to see what version of the kernel I have, and I have 2.6 version of the kernel. This information are very useful for a Linux administrator or a Linux engineer. Very critical information. Okay, if I want to see my drive and my partition, I have a get drive command, and it shows me the root partition with 16 gigabyte of total size and 7 gigabyte of free space. You can see the name of your partition, the file system, the total size, and the free space in gigabyte. Okay? If I want to collect more information, about each of these partition, it's possible with the command and get drive stats, and you see more details concerning each partition, for example, the available space to the current user, etc., etc. So it's informations, but very important information. Okay, let's go again. If I want to collect information about my IP address or my network card in general, there is a command named getNetConfig. GetNetConfig in the Linux world or Unix world, there is a command named ifconfig. Show me the network configuration of my system. This is my IP address. This is my IPv6 address. I have two interface, my loopback interface and my Ethernet 0 interface. This is some Linux layout. But this command show me the same information but in a PowerShell perspective with a table. This is a table. I have 4 objects. 2 of them represent the loopback interface and 2 other represent the Ethernet 0 interface. I have the name, the type, the status, description, speed, and IP address. Okay, it's more beautiful. It's more PowerShell layout or format system. Okay, if I want, for example, to print only this column, if I want to extract only this information, it's possible. It's possible. We have to get netconfig and pipe all the object to for each object. Okay, to for each object and process each object to extract the property IP address. Okay, sure. Okay, IP address here. No. Right. Okay. Okay. We list all the object and extract for each object only the IP address. If I type enter, it gives me all the IP address, IPv4 address and IPv6 address for each interface. Okay, good, very good. If I want, for example, to get the content of the etc password, the etc password file is a very well-known file in the Linux administration world. To see all of the account, the configuration of all accounts. If I'm interested by this line, for example, the scripting account, it's possible with the select string command, select string, scripting, and etc password. Yes, etc password, etc password. Okay, and it show me only this line. We extract this line and it give me this line. It's more efficient to work in this way. Okay, if I want to for example get information about physical memory, it's possible with the get memory stat command, and it show me information in megabytes. Okay, the free memory, the used memory, and the available memory. Again, very useful information. Okay, information about CPU. Get CPU stats. Okay, and it gives me information, list information concerning the processor. Okay, very basic processor. Okay, if I want to reproduce some dmask like behavior, print the kernel messages, it's possible with the get kernel messages, and it show me, prints out the information about the kernel. If I want to troubleshoot my kernel, these information are very important for me. If I want to print the kernel module, it's possible with the get kernel module, and again get kernel module lists all the loaded module. For example, if I want to, for example, unload this module, the USB storage module, I have firstly to check if a USB key is mounted. If I check here, I have my USB key here. So let's unmount the USB key first and unload the module. Okay, so first there is a command, unmount drive, with dev sdb1 here, dev sdb1, and as you can see, the command, the icon, the USB key icon disappear, and the dev sdb1 drive is now unmounted from the system. We unmounted the USB key. So now let's unload the kernel module with the remove kernel module, USB storage. The USB storage module was removed from the kernel. So let's check if this is true or not. Get kernel module. Okay, so let's check. Okay, the USB storage module was removed. Okay, so it's okay. If I want to re-import the USB key, it's possible. I have to import sorry, I have to import the kernel module first. Import the kernel module, USB storage, like this. The USB storage module was added to the kernel. Let's check again. Get kernel module, like this, and okay, good. It's wonderful. The USB storage module was added, and the USB key was mounted. Wonderful. Okay. So, to conclude, this is the end of the demo. It's a PowerShell version, a Linux PowerShell version. We can do again a lot of things. Let's GCM. GCM is an alias of get command. It's a get command alias. Okay. By get command, we can do a lot of things again. You can stop the computer. You can restart the computer. We can install a program from a source code. It's an efficient shell to administer your Linux platform. It's object-oriented based, and perhaps it's the future. Perhaps it's the future of the Linux administration. Okay, so thank you, and bye bye.